You're listening to the Food Scientist Podcast. I'm here with Gigglebot Brian Pierce.
Hey, everyone.
And instigator Danny Sussman.
Innocent. I did nothing.
Danny gave me the church giggles.
I am your host, Amy Zajac. And we have a few things to talk about.
That's a pretty good thing that we do. Otherwise, this would be a very boring podcast.
You know, some people like to listen to dead silence.
Yeah.
Well, yeah. There's nothing wrong with that. Enjoy the silence, but not here.
Not here.
No.
So we had a few food experiences this week. We'll start off with, some of the more minor ones and then end with a really good one. But all three of us got free dinner at a little casino in the middle of nowhere, Wisconsin.
Not just dinner.
Well,
Nope.
we had free dinners, plural.
Well, I mean,
because
but
we could actually, and maybe should, start a second gambling podcast.
maybe we're finding out so many things.
Yeah. So we
many
had some
secrets.
casino meals.
But
this
no,
week.
this was not just
We're going to say what we ate. We're not just going to leave it up in the
I
air.
know.
No, this was a T-bone steak dinner that we got by not even having to gamble that much.
And a pretty decent-sized T-bone steak.
Yeah,
It was,
it's all right.
I think the sign said 16 ounce. That's a pound of beef.
And a baked potato, corn, and you had your choice of super salad.
Yep, and a roll.
And a roll.
Yeah. So, no, that was great. And the best thing is because it was free, we didn't have to tip.
That is
That is
not
not
true at
true.
all.
Kidding, obviously kidding.
Don't listen to your family, Brian.
Yeah, so, if you ever are in the middle of nowhere and you see a casino, stop by because you can maybe get a free steak.
I love that their specials board said steak dinner tonight, $21 or 35 points.
Right, and it's kind of a mystery how you earn points, but I think it's about every $5 you gamble, you get a point. Now, that's not $5 you're spending because when you put a 20 in, you're going to go up and down for a while, hopefully, or you're going to win and you're going to keep earning points based on that.
I do like that
Because we all win at casinos.
Yeah, don't we? Yeah, everyone does. That's how it works.
they actually have I think that casino every night has a different offer. My favorite is Sundays. Because Sunday is winner chicken dinner, where for $10 or 10 points, you get half a chicken and you can choose roasted or fried.
Let's give them a shout out. This is the St. Croix Casino
In
Turtle Lake, Wisconsin. Hopefully you live near that area.
And we got some good cheese curds there, too.
Yeah, it was right. It's in the middle of nowhere. And when we say the middle of nowhere, it's the
Wisconsin, same thing.
It's
No,
like it's the middle of nowhere.
at Mr. Snack Cake.
It's in the middle of nowhere in Wisconsin. But what I like, is, besides the casino, is I enjoy walking around the liquor stores near there to kind of see what they have. Because Wisconsin is a drinking state, so they have stuff there that you don't see in other places. There was this huge selection of rum creams.
Yeah.
And then there was ice cream flavored rums. We don't get that here.
You make floats?
Yeah, here in Minnesota we don't get that. We have to make our own boozy.
Yeah, I mean, Wisconsin does booze and cheese very well. Separate, not together.
You've never had beer cheese soup or beer cheese dip?
Yeah, I'd say
Not really my thing.
they do mix them.
But, I think because it is, it's not just the location is so remote, but getting there's no good, interstates or anything for the most part.
Yeah, it's on a small road.
Right.
And from the outside it looks basically like a giant warehouse.
Mm-hmm. But I think that's why they have such great deals. So, that's another place if you want to try and score some free food.
Only a 90-mile drive to get to it from
Well,
the
if you
Twin
live
Cities.
in the Twin Cities. But yeah, I mean, we have listeners who live closer, I'm sure.
I would hope.
So, yeah. Or wherever you're at, there's probably a small little casino that, might be worth checking out.
Yeah.
And plus we know some people that would drive to Iowa for a casino. I'm looking at them right now.
Okay, so I did the math of what's closer, the one down in Iowa or this one. It turned out Iowa is further, but because there's an interstate,
It's about the same.
Yeah, it's the same 2-hour drive to go for a steak dinner.
Okay. Moving on. You had a bounty of berries recently.
I did.
What kind of berries?
I have this crazy garden thing.
Yeah, you love your garden.
I do, and it's about to be raspberry season. So if you need raspberries, in about a week and a half, find me and you can.
What's your address? Tell everyone your address.
Yeah, I said find me and I'll look to see if you're a person I would tell where I live. And if you are, you can come to my house and pick raspberries because there's going to be so many. Yeah. I still have frozen raspberries from last year that I need to get rid of because I have a whole new batch.
So what do you do with these raspberries?
The raspberries, I've made jams, sauces. We did some spiced jams and spice sauces, like a raspberry lemon basil sauce. I have some of that canned. But I also have a serviceberry bush in front of my house. And so I picked just a ton of serviceberries. And I'm like, great, now that I have a ton of berries, what do I do with them? I made a Saskatoon pie.
Now explain to people what a Saskatoon pie is.
I have no idea. It doesn't sound like one I'd eat, just to be honest.
Well, you wouldn't eat a fruit pie anyway.
I eat an apple pie.
Yeah, that's
kind of pushing it, but yeah.
Saskatoon pie is basically it's a serviceberry pie. So serviceberries are tiny. They look like tiny blueberries. They're kind of milder. It was just like, hey, what should I do with this? I'm going to make a pie. And it came out looking really good. I was irrationally proud of it.
It did look good. You showed pictures to us.
We'll post pictures. I just want to tell people I made a pie. Because I made a pie.
And did you make the crust from scratch too?
No.
Okay.
But good job because it did look delicious.
It did look really good. We'll post pictures and you can tell me, wow, Danny, that's a great looking pie.
Okay.
But on to more important things.
Yes, this is the big news.
This is the big news. I don't know why we were. I guess we want to have a little build up in this podcast.
It's the beginning of the month, guys. Guess what we're going to talk about?
The blizzard of the month. And plus, there's also a limited edition blizzard.
Yeah, which surprised me because I had kind of thought with their new summer menu, we weren't getting any new blizzards for the summer.
And then we got two.
Which was exciting. And I have to admit, I learned about this from our podcast Facebook page. Because, Amy, I'm guessing you posted hey, there's a new Star Spangled Blizzard out.
I think it was me.
Oh, okay, one of you posted that.
Yeah,
I was like, what? How did I not know about this? So our podcast is educational, everyone.
Amy does like 90% of the hard work involved in the podcast. Every now and then I put something on social media in our name.
On a slow week, she does 90%.
So 2 of you, that means not me, had the Star Spangled, and 3 of us had the Oreo fireworks.
Yes,
which have we talked about yet?
Well,
we need to describe them both.
The Oreo fireworks blizzard is the blizzard of the month.
So that's the one that is likely, if you're listening to this in the month of July, still available. Interestingly, it's themed off of the firework Oreo, one of my favorites, and one of Brian's least favorites.
Well, the firework Oreos are the Oreos that just have the popping candy in them.
Right.
Now, this is not the firework Oreo Blizzard because I'm guessing
normal Oreos in the Blizzard.
They didn't want people to think it was the firework Oreos ground up in there. Not that it would make that much difference, but this is an Oreo Blizzard with popping candy added. So it's like an Oreo Blizzard with Pop Rocks. Pop Rocks because licensing.
Right. And then the Star Spangled has all sorts of stuff.
I was going to say too, just on the firework, they're not straight up popping candies. They're kind of like candy coated popping candies. It's like they dip them in like chocolate, like a white chocolate or something. It's basically
they're dipped in something. They're coated.
They're coated so that they don't.
I don't know if I would say they're chocolate or anything like that. Though.
They're coated so that they don't pop prematurely.
And I just have to say, I hated this so much. I accidentally got a small one.
Accidentally?
Yeah, well, I accidentally had 2 blizzards that day, but at the same time. But
wait, you accidentally had 2 blizzards at the same time?
It happens.
How does that accident happen?
Well, okay, the Dairy Queen downtown that I go to is having a promotion this past week where buy one, get one 99 cents.
Yep.
Mm-hmm. So I was there with 3 people.
2 other people plus you.
Yeah. And
a group of 3.
And I'll have to say Amy was one of those people. And
thanks for the invite, guys.
Yeah, you don't work close enough. Mm-hmm. And she's like, well, it's buy one, get one, so I have to buy an extra one. I don't want it, but I have to buy it.
And I was saying the buy one, get one would be wasted on me if I got 2 for me because I'd get 2 minis. And so I said, Brian... Or the other person that was with us.
I gave you $1, and I was like, okay, I'll get a
small for me, so you get a small.
Yeah. And the
That
other
doesn't
person I was
s-
with wanted a small as well, so I was like, fine, I'll just have 2 smalls and I'll be okay.
And he normally gets a medium anyway,
Yeah.
so.
So 2 smalls is probably more than
Did
a
you
medium.
get 2 small Oreo fireworks?
Oh, heavens no. No. I got 1 small Oreo fireworks, and I had one of my standard Reese's peanut butter cup ones, which was great because that's my favorite. So having one I didn't like and one that I did like, it kind of helped balance the universe
What
out.
is your beef with Pop Rocks?
Okay, so every time they're in your mouth for a while before they start exploding,
Mm-hmm.
and I don't like that.
I
don't
liked the
that at
delayed
all.
explosion
No,
from
yeah,
this
right?
from this blizzard.
No, because every time I thought, okay, it's done, I'm gonna swallow this. It's like in my uvula, just punching it.
No, you're not doing it
Brian,
right.
you just don't know how to eat.
Yeah, because I was eating this as I was going back to my office because the Dairy Queen's in my building,
Yeah.
folks. So it's just an elevator ride for me. And as I'm walking through the hallways to my actual cube, I wasn't scooping the ice cream as I was walking, and I'd already swallowed, and all of a sudden I still have these little Pop Rocks going off in my mouth, and that was like the best thing ever. I'm like, this is so fun.
I love Pop Rocks. I love like that little like I'm growing flowers in my garden that kind of like create that sensation when you bite into them. And then they numb your tongue. That's a whole other thing. Szechuan buttons, look those up. You just savor it in your mouth, and then you get like pop, 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 pop.
Yeah, why? Why would
Because
I want
it's
that?
a fun sensation.
I like Pop Rocks. I don't need that in my ice cream.
Wait, so you like Pop Rocks?
Yeah, like that's fine when I'm having Pop Rocks. I don't need that with something else.
So it's too complicated for you.
No, it's for the Blizzard purposes, or when they're in Oreos, the popping candies in Oreos lately, it's just too much flash, not enough substance. If I want to eat Pop Rocks, I'm going to eat Pop Rocks. I don't need that in something.
But the Blizzard, basically, it still tastes like an Oreo Blizzard.
It tastes good.
It does. Now,
It just has a flourish at the end that's going
Yeah.
to crackle in your mouth.
now, there are 2 things I have to say.
So don't even say that doesn't have substance. It just has a little extra flair.
yeah,
You know what that is? I think this offends your Midwestern sensibility.
How so?
Because you just like it just plain. And like me, I'm more East Coast. I'm like,
Well-
if I could get the same thing with a little flair, give me the flair.
Speaking of plain, this is one of the things I wanted to say here, is that I did see a lady, and I couldn't believe this. She ordered the Oreo Fireworks Blizzard without Oreos.
Oh.
So is that just a Pop Rocks Blizzard?
Yeah. Not Pop Rocks, because they don't have that license.
So that actually brings me to an interesting subject, which is the Star Spangled Blizzard.
Yes,
That's the other one.
Well, I want to...
that's red, white, and blue.
One more thought about the Oreo fireworks.
Mm-hmm.
I had a small. This was the only time I've ever said, I'm so glad I had a small and not a larger size. Thank you.
That's sad. I loved the firework blizzard, right? Amy, you loved the
I loved it, yeah.
It was just making me
I
mad.
was
I'm
talking
like,
about it at work with one of our listeners who saw the Facebook post about the 2 of them and ran out and got it. Used the app after hearing you talk about it.
Oh, the Dairy Queen app where you can get the D coupons?
Yeah, got the D coupon, got it free. It was like that firework one is amazing. So we've given you a lot of airtime for your grievances with it.
Yes, you have. We can move
You're like the minority here.
Did you like it better than this next one that's coming up?
Oh, I probably did.
Let's
Now,
describe
there
it
you
for
go.
folks, because I did not have it.
The Star Spangled Blizzard, that's a complication. I will say this. It looks amazing on Instagram.
Yes, that's why they did. This was a great marketing thing.
It really
good job,
does.
Dairy Queen, with coming up with something unique.
So what they did, and it actually has a pretty good use of existing ingredients too. So you don't usually see a cherry base for a Blizzard.
No, you don't.
But they used their cherry syrup to give you a cherry base. They had these little flecks of blue candy.
Oh, no,
that
that's
were-
shards of glass.
Little flecks of blue candy
Little blue shards of glass.
that were mixed in with the cherry.
Mm-hmm.
Then they put on top of that a dollop of just the plain vanilla ice cream with the twist, the signature
The
cone
swirl.
at the top. So they sprinkle some more of the blue candy on top of that, so it was red, white, and blue.
And then the star of the show.
Right, and then as if that wasn't enough, red, white, and blue. And I think this is maybe to like make up for the flavor of the Blizzard. They took a Star Kiss bar and then just shoved it in there.
An entire Star Kiss bar. Now, I thought they could have cut it into fourths and just put that in there. And I think that would have been
But then you don't have the shape of a star to go with the stars and stripes for the 4th of July.
There was a lot going on in there.
I mean, they still have the stick in the Star Kiss, so you have to take that out and eat that first, basically, before you can get to the Blizzard. It's work.
Wait, you ate that first?
I did. Well, I was walking back, and I couldn't, I was walking back to work, so my hands were full.
Although, in your case, you went to a Dairy Queen that sold you it as a mini and told you that was the only size.
Well, the Dairy Queen website says that mini is the only size on this, so I just ordered it. Now, I suspect it actually was a small.
So, yeah, when I went to a Dairy Queen, I asked for it, hearing what you had told me, that there was only one size. And they asked me what size I wanted, and I was like, what size can I get? And they're like, any size. The only difference is that if you get it with the mini Blizzard, we have to hand you the Star Kiss bar because it won't fit in the cup.
Oh, no, I should say this, too. There is an upcharge for this. Because
Because it has a Star... It's a Blizzard and a Star Kiss bar.
It makes sense. No, whether I got a mini or a small, I definitely was charged for a medium.
But, the way you could tell is, you know how tiny the mini Blizzard is.
So this definitely seemed like a small to me.
Yeah.
Even though they were saying mini. I didn't specify a size. They didn't ask me. They just made them and handed them.
Yeah, because I can't imagine that the Star Kiss bar would even fit in the mini cup. I said small. I got what would be a small Blizzard with a Star Kiss in there. They actually, on theirs, they had a Star Spangled button, so it didn't say, medium Blizzard. It actually said Star Spangled Blizzard.
All right.
But
this was interesting. I bet they're not supposed to give it that to you in a larger size.
Although I will
especially
say,
if there's only one button.
I did get it at a Dairy Queen that was new to me, because my typical Dairy Queen, they didn't have it yet. It was supposed to be out on the 2nd. I went on the 2nd. They said they weren't going to have everything until the 3rd. So this one is while supplies last.
Limited edition. A lot of people were buying it both times I went this week.
I will say, I think it was fixable.
What would you do to fix this one?
Because I think the real problem with this Blizzard was the cherry. The cherry ice cream. It had those blue shards of
glass.
Of candy in them. Those didn't add any flavor. They just added texture.
I mean, they're way too hard and crunchy.
So you just had cherry ice cream. I think adding the chocolate cone dip to give that a swirl of chocolate in there would have helped it. I think had they put the fireworks in there,
I think the fireworks make more sense in there.
I think the fireworks actually would have worked there because it's such a...
Also known as popping candy, not actual fireworks.
Yeah. I mean, Brian would have blown his fingers off.
I was telling someone they should have just put a sparkler in it, but I accidentally said a sprinkler. which brought up a sprinkler at Dairy Queen would be like fudge spraying everywhere. It's like, ooh.
You know what? That's actually this Dairy Queen I went to. It was the first time. There's another Dairy Queen I used to go to that has since closed, and what I loved was that I don't know how they trained their people to make the Blizzards, but every employee at that Dairy Queen always had across their chest just a giant stripe of ice cream spray for making the Blizzards. And it was just
the height of the machine.
Yeah, it was right. It was right there, and it was just so that would be the Dairy Queen sprinkler.
Yes.
But it looked like it's just you see the shirts with a single stripe right across his chest. They all look like that, but it's just Blizzard spray, and it always amuses me.
Yeah. So for both of these, I would have to say I tried both of these purely for science.
And which one would you eat again if you had to pick one?
If I had to pick one, I would go with the Oreo fireworks, even though it would just make me sad.
I do want to play with the cherry ice cream and try fixing it. I would absolutely like it. The fireworks should be a full-time Blizzard.
You could ask them to add that. I bet they could.
Yeah, no, but I'm just curious. Like, if I did like cherry with the firework, cherry with the cone dip, I think adding that little bit of chocolate like chunk to it would help that cherry. I was just thinking, like, you could, in our world of Blizzard wizardry, knowing that this cherry base is out there.
Yes. In general, that with this Blizzard specifically, I don't think there's any helping it because the Star Kiss alone is just making it too unnecessary.
Yeah,
it's too much work to eat it. There was planning involved. I don't want to have to plan when I'm eating a Blizzard.
Can we talk about the Star Kiss for a minute?
Yeah.
Why?
Those are fruit flavors, right? The 3 different stripes. Or one's vanilla. I looked it up because I don't remember ever having one. I thought one was watermelon.
The one I had was strawberry, I'm pretty sure.
I think it was like watermelon,
they
strawberry,
do make,
something
so
else.
they make Star Kiss in a variety of flavors that are flavored stars, and then there is the red, white, and blue Star Kiss.
How would you explain that to someone who doesn't know what we're talking about?
I would say
ice cream shaped as a star.
It's not ice cream.
It's not ice cream. It's sherbet.
It's like if you've ever had like the Fruit Pops, it's that.
It's not.
It's like fruit.
It's not ice texture though.
Yeah.
It's smooth, and just go buy one. How about that? If you don't know what it is, just go buy one.
But also, actually, I would say this: if you want to know what one is, get the Star Spangled Blizzard, add chocolate to the cherry, right? Add like the cone dip or chocolate chips, whatever they could do for chocolate chunks for you. Maybe the s'mores chocolate marshmallow in there. Add some chocolate to it. So then that's what you're going to do. You're going to get this whole thing with the Star Kiss bar. You're going to take the Star Kiss bar out of the Blizzard. You're going to take one bite out of the Star Kiss bar. You're going to say, oh, that's what this is. Why would anybody come to Dairy Queen and order it? You're going to throw out the Star Kiss bar. And then you're going to have a half-decent Blizzard because now you've at least got chocolate and cherry.
I mean, I have no problem with the Star Kiss bars, but if I'm going to go to Dairy Queen, why would I buy that? Is kind of my thought. There's so many other things I'd rather take precedence.
Right. That's my point.
Yeah.
So.
All right, then.
Moving right along.
We'll move on to other frozen treats.
Yes.
We mentioned this last week when tasting the Good Humor Strawberry Shortcake Oreo, and when you wondered if it'd be better frozen, Danny, and then we remembered we have not done frozen Oreos.
We have not done frozen Oreos, and a listener brought us a Oreo cake.
Ice cream cake.
Oreo ice cream cake.
Yeah.
Because this is like the perfect transition, because it actually brings me to a question. Have you ever gotten a Dairy Queen Blizzard cake?
Oh. I don't think I have.
Because this was just a
treats of pizza.
Yeah, this was a supermarket bought Oreo ice cream cake, but it was very similar to, not exactly the same as Blizzard cake.
It was coated with Oreo pieces. Mm-hmm. I don't think there were chunks of Oreos in the actual cake, though.
There were the chocolate cookie piece chunks in there.
Yeah, okay. I ate it too fast. I guess I think
because I have good pictures where you
but
can
there was
see
a gigantic soft Oreo in the middle of the cake as well.
Yeah, just on the top though, just the top cookie part.
Mm-hmm.
It's not like it was.
Can you buy that gigantic soft Oreo on its own?
You have to be able to, because last year I had some friends who made me a gigantic birthday cake that had the base of a treats of pizza. It was surrounded by snack cakes and a gigantic donut, and then it had one of those soft Oreos on top.
So that's what it is. You have to look for the soft Oreo if you want.
So you can find those somewhere.
Giant Oreo. Did you know that Dairy Queen Blizzard cakes come in 3 sizes? There is an 8-inch, a 10-inch, and a mini.
Mini?
A mini. So
how big is the mini?
Well, I'll give it to you in like...
How many bites?
I'm not sure the size. I know the calories. I looked that up.
Okay.
We might have talked about this once before. I remember looking it up. It might have just been that I got an email from Dairy Queen, and I was like, mini Blizzard cake? I wonder if that's size for one. So, a mini Blizzard cake in Oreo has 1,760 calories.
Okay.
A large Oreo Blizzard has 1,130 calories. So it's only 600 calories more.
Crust.
The large blizzard with the most calories would be the salted caramel.
Okay.
At 1,410. So a mini blizzard cake relatively is not that different.
No, it's not. I mean, you would need to look at the price points to see, what do I want to do?
Do I want to do? I mean, for 2 people, the blizzard cake seems like a no-brainer.
Mm-hmm.
The mini blizzard cake.
But when you're looking at price versus calories, I mean, you want to get your money's worth when you're getting those calories in there.
But I mean, like, I enjoy like a DQ cake, right? Because you get like that chocolate crunch stuff. You get other stuff in there.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Yep, you do.
So yeah, no, this Oreo cake, it triggered in my mind the blizzard cake.
It was similar to me. I didn't think it had as many pieces in it, as many cookie crumbles in it as...
No, there's a lot more ice cream than cookie.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
but it was still tasty.
But it was good. It was,
And the whipped cream on top and the shaved chocolate
it was
cookie.
of an Oreo name. You can buy some frozen cakes sometimes that have too much of that whipped cream. It's not, that great. But this was a good cake.
Mm-hmm. And now I feel like we need to get a mini blizzard cake in the studios.
I will not disagree with that.
I mean, we could get an 8-inch or a 10-inch, but the mini is pretty alluring.
We could meet Monday for lunch.
Maybe.
And live stream.
So the frozen Oreos.
Yeah, so moving to
We talked about that last week with the strawberry one.
The good humor strawberry shortcake ones, and then you brought a bunch of other frozen Oreos.
Right.
Yeah, you said in general, I can't believe that we haven't
We
talked
didn't
about
do this, right.
I've never heard of people doing that.
If you watch like Emerald, like in his early days before he became cartoon character Emerald, like his early days on the Food Network, when he said things other than Bam, one of the things he would do is if there's kids in the audience, he had a freezer that was full of frozen Oreos, and he would just go to the freezer and give kids a pack of frozen Oreos. You remember that?
Oh yeah.
I watching that, I'm like, I don't care about this guy's cooking, but he's got a freezer full of Oreos. I gotta freeze. It
doesn't seem
Oreos.
that strange. People freeze Girl Scout cookies and candy bars and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So
Yeah, and so I was even more surprised that you've never had frozen Oreos.
Yeah, so I can finally say that I have now, and now that I have, I don't ever need to do that again.
What?
It did nothing. It did nothing.
Oh my god! It saved the good humor one. I thought
that made it better. That did make it better.
That thing was
yes.
But
it was still aromatic.
It was more aromatic, I would say. It was like strawberry.
But I think it took that from like a matte Oreo to a contender. Like,
okay, here's the thing though. That one was maybe better, but I couldn't bite into it because the cream was rock solid.
That might be the setting of Amy's freezer.
No, well, even the cookie part was frozen harder than I anticipated.
Yeah,
because the first time I tried one, because these had been in my house for a week, so I had one before today. I had 2 before today. I wasn't sure I could bite into it. I'm like, dear Lord. And then, but I did for science. It was fine. I don't know if the cream definitely firmed up. It was super mushy to me, room temperature. So.
Well, everyone should remember, limited edition Oreos have more cream, so it makes sense that the whole cookie is going to be harder.
Right.
But yeah, why would I want
the regular Oreo
chewing on an Oreo?
God, Brian, you're so lazy because it tastes better.
No, it didn't.
I liked all the Oreos better frozen.
Yeah.
That one, the strawberry one, tasted more like a strawberry Oreo alone. It didn't have any of the oddness.
The plain Oreos, this is the regular. So we had just like the
normal Oreo.
Generic, yeah, that did nothing for me. Nothing.
I think we probably should have had some thoughts. So you could have it side by side.
Well, this was my thought because I hinted. I was like, we might have to do this again.
Mm-hmm.
What if you refrigerated them? Would that?
That wasn't my thought. My thought was, the way with all of that cream, and it kind of fixed the strawberry one. Mm-hmm. What would it be like with a mega? Because the megas, when we were biting those, the cream.
I was wondering about the mega. I was wondering about the mega too.
Yeah.
You would need a steak knife to get into that thing.
Right? How great would that be? I'm like, do we need to
Ginsu's to tell him to send?
Part of me was like, oh God, do we need to get 9 kinds of Oreos again? And for those that don't know what I'm talking about, we did an episode. I don't remember what number it was. But
a while ago.
It was a couple
We've talked about a lot Oreos.
We got every size of Oreo that exists.
The classic chocolate cookie white cream.
Yep.
And we tasted all of them. I would be interested to do that again with them frozen.
Now, in defense of frozen Oreos, I don't like frozen Snickers either. And I know that's a popular thing, but that does nothing for me. It just makes it harder. And
I'm not as much into frozen candy bars, especially like the normal size candy bars. Minis, maybe, and like the Cadbury egg, since it's so
that changed the texture of the cream. It didn't make
inside,
it harder.
It
changed the texture. But this, it just
like a regular candy bar.
It made it harder. And
the frozen peanut butter cups aren't bad.
Yeah, I can't imagine that would get too stiff. But yeah, these are.
I
do like frozen cookies.
I like frozen Oreos more than regular. To me, it's like having cookies and cream. Ice cream without the stupid ice cream in the way.
The Peeps Oreo almost tasted normal.
The Peeps Oreo, I didn't hate it. It didn't make me be like, yum, but I didn't hate it as much. I didn't want to throw the package at anyone.
Did you want to throw the package at someone when you had the original Peep Oreo?
Yeah, you.
How about when you ate like 8 different kinds of bizarrely flavored Peeps?
I think I was still Peeps shell-shocked at that point, so that's probably something.
We also, the cookies and cream Oreos from... Mexico and Peru. We did those too. I think those were actually because the foreign Oreos are smaller.
Yes,
they don't have as much cream in them.
They're smaller dimension.
Yeah, their cream is richer and there's less of it. That
diameter.
that you couldn't really tell a difference. Mm-hmm. Those, I think a regular Oreo, you definitely have a textural difference. I'm a fan. Mm-hmm. Amy's a fan. Yeah. Brian, do you want to be host?
Yeah, I might be host on this. But this is the difference. It's like when you get a piece of taffy. Now, you can have soft taffy, or you can have taffy that is really hard, like a Laffy Taffy almost. I don't know why you would want the chewier one or the harder one. Just eat something that
because sometimes you want something that's like gum, but that you can swallow.
No, you're wrong. Nobody wants the chewy, nasty, hard taffy. But...
Not stale taffy.
Yeah, not stale. But that's kind of like where my brain goes with the texture of a regular Oreo versus a frozen
You're
Oreo.
wrong.
It's like stale taffy.
To me, the frozen one is just like flakier.
I really think we do need to try to freeze a Mega Stuff. Not try to. Succeed in freezing a Mega Stuff.
It might not be possible.
Yeah, we'll have to, at some point in the future... I think we'll need to do a side-by-side with you again.
Okay, and I would try refrigerating them too, just to see.
Yeah, we can have Oreos at we can, maybe if we do like, listeners, which ones should we include in this test? You've seen and heard us taste every size. Do we just need to do the regular ones and the megas at a variety of sizes and temperatures?
And I think we need to try the golden Oreo frozen as well to know if it's the golden cookie that gets harder or if it was the strawberry shortcake good humor one that just got bizarrely harder, the cookie part.
Yeah, that was a lot harder than any of the other ones.
But the other difference was that for our listeners, here's some behind-the-scenes info. The strawberry shortcake one sat in your freezer for a week. The others sat in my freezer and then went into an insulated bag and came over to the studio.
Yeah, so they thawed a little.
So they might have been softer from thawing, and I don't know what temperature you keep your freezer at versus mine.
The general, whatever default medium setting it is.
I don't know. But there could have been a temperature difference in that
but
too.
If all of them were that texture, I would not.
Because I don't remember mine at my home being that hard, because I did freeze some as well in my freezer just to try it.
Okay,
so who knows? We'll have to insert a control there.
Yeah, and I want to hear if other people have tried this. Do you like it? Are you going to try it? Let us know your thoughts. What did you find out?
So, with that, we'll move on to a savory note. Danny, found
a new meat chip.
Yay.
And he actually called it a chip, and it's a Pringle.
I was just so excited about the meat.
See, I was going to try and trick him into calling them a chip. He already did that, so my work here is done.
Whatever.
He found Sloppy Joe Pringles, and that are new and limited.
They are new. They're limited edition, and they are available only at Walgreens. And Walgreens is very proud of this.
I like Walgreens. Not because of this, but...
But, like, they have... If you're looking for these, go into a Walgreens. They have these giant cardboard things that say Sloppy Joe Pringles only at Walgreens.
And next to them, you had cheddar cheese, which are not new or limited, but just They were there.
But in
because Pringles' thing is they want you to make your own recipes now.
And Walgreens' thing on the display was it had 2 rows of Sloppy Joe, 1 row of cheddar cheese.
There you go.
And I thought, when people eat, I don't really eat Sloppy Joe, but when they eat Sloppy Joe, do they put cheese on it?
There are people that do that.
And then I was like, I bet there are people that do that.
Kind of like, a made rate. It's basically just crumbled beef that you can put cheese on. That's a common thing.
Some people put cheese on every sandwich.
So that's
savory sandwich.
Right, and so we got the Sloppy Joe chips and the cheddar chips.
And their artwork on them is amazing.
Okay, the cheddar cheese I really like.
It's like a cheese slice. They're slicing off a wedge of cheese, but it turns into a Pringle as it's slicing. Mm-hmm. Well, there will be pictures. And then the Sloppy Joe one has a Pringle that they've tried to humanize by putting a knife and fork.
It's just odd.
And a napkin around its neck.
Yeah, it's wearing a bib.
So it's going to dig into the Sloppy Joe.
What's the connotation there? He's going to eat the Sloppy Joe
and then taste like Sloppy Joes.
And then we're going to eat him?
Yeah.
What's really weird about it is that it doesn't have hands.
No.
But it has a fork and knife just floating.
Yes.
They're just Pringles force.
Yeah, it's just floating.
Makes me want to go back and look at pictures from some of the other Pringles we've eaten to see if their artwork is as amazing.
Did you all know that Kellogg's makes Pringles? I just learned that today.
I learned that today when you told me.
I learned that today when Brian told me reading the package.
Yeah, I had no idea that these were a Kellogg brand. But Sloppy Joes, didn't care for them.
Yeah,
do you like Sloppy Joes in general?
I don't like it when they have too much onion or too much pepper.
I thought you were going to say sauce because you're anti-condiment.
No, because that's the food. It's not really a condiment. That's the food itself.
But it gets saucy. People make Sloppy Joes with ketchup and stuff.
Yeah, that was one of my questions. Is like as a non-Sloppy Joe, like what's the difference? But what's the difference we would expect between a Sloppy Joe chip and a barbecue chip?
Well, I would expect Sloppy Joe not to be so barbecue-y.
Yeah.
It's a different flavor, but yeah.
It's different seasonings that are involved.
That's what I was going to say. This tasted like Sloppy Joe seasoning and not quite right Sloppy Joe seasoning.
Yeah.
I didn't get a meat taste at all, just a seasoning taste.
I got a little bit of that, but yeah, it was mostly I don't know if it was the onion or if it was green pepper. There was just something that just was resonating too much with my taste buds for me to enjoy these. Now, I do have to say, thinking back to the Top Ramen chicken Pringles, these were way better than those. So I think, that helped me enjoy these a little bit more, that they weren't the Top Ramen chicken.
Yeah, these weren't bad. I thought these were snackable. My thing was that the flavor seemed like a little bit mild. And like mild in like not a strong flavor, but I think some of it was uneven distribution of Sloppy Joe powder.
It's very uneven distribution.
Like you could have like one half of a crisp that tastes like Sloppy Joe, and the other half of the crisp tasted like Pringle.
Yeah,
I think there was more seasoning on the top ones.
What about adding cheddar? What did that do for you?
It tasted more like a cheddar Pringle than a Sloppy Joe one when I ate them together.
Yeah, it was all right. I can understand having recipes for Pringles and making your own combinations of flavors. It was okay.
Did you like Sloppy Joe and cheddar better than just Sloppy Joe?
I did.
Would you put Sloppy Joe on a pizza Pringle?
No.
I would not. Well, I would. What am I saying? But I was just in here thinking the jalapeno Pringle with the cheddar would be good, or with the Sloppy Joe.
So you would add some spice.
But I like jalapeno Pringles.
They also have dill pickle Pringles.
I know.
Would you put dill pickle Pringles on your Sloppy Joe?
Probably not.
Cool. I know people who would.
I might put it with the cheese.
What's really interesting to me is that it's cheddar cheese that they make, as opposed to nacho cheese or some other kind of cheese, because cheddar cheese alone, I'm not thinking ever, hey, I just wish I were eating Velveeta right now.
You know why they...
That is not cheddar flavored, Brian.
Whatever.
It's cheddar is not Velveeta.
One cheddar is not Velveeta, and the other one...
These chips kind of remind me.
And you know why they don't... The other reason they don't do that is when people saying, hey, that's Nacho Pringle.
Danny.
You're laughing. That makes you worse.
Amy, help us out here.
Nacho Pringle.
Well, I was glad we ended on a savory note, even though I liked the Oreos better than the Pringles, but that was a lot of sugar. A lot of frozen sugar. And even though I didn't love the Sloppy Joe Pringles, I would eat them.
A lot of frozen sugar today. The blizzards and the frozen cake and the frozen
Oreos, yeah.
Yeah, so how do you like your sugar frozen, folks? What form? Cookie, cake, pie, candy? Let us know.
Right out of the sugar.
Let us know, and that reminds me, follow us on Facebook. We have a Facebook group.
We have a Facebook page and group. Leave a review. We have a review.
Yeah, that's what I was going to say. Review us, please. Be honest. We're not going to tell you otherwise. But if you review us, we may read it on the air.
And you might get one of us using like our special voice to read it.
Yes.
And Amy's going to read today?
I'm going to read today. We got a review from Chewable Sarcasm. The title being Nicely Done, Friends.
And Chewable Sarcasm just joined Team Danny, although he did not give up his place on Team Brian.
Right.
I have one disclosure. He didn't give up his place on Team Brian, but he joined Team Danny, which means he's just not a hater anymore.
Temporarily.
Anyways,
he did not put that in the review. That was on social media.
That was on Twitter.
Follow us.
But we do read and we connect with our listeners.
I want to read the rest of the.
Oh, sorry.
It's not a long review. You should let me read it.
Okay.
The rest of the review says, this podcast makes me want to eat. So, yay.
Yeah.
Go get Blizzards and Oreos and freeze the Oreos and dunk them in the Blizzard.
And you know what? We have a lot of people on different social media who will give us suggestions of things they want us to talk about. And we usually try and honor them. So
like we had the cake today. I've had other people ask me, if I brought you a food, would you talk about it on the podcast? Yes.
Yes,
we would.
We recently got a question on one that we will use in a future episode, so I won't say what.
Ooh. You have questions for us? Ask the question, we'll answer them.
Absolutely.
Yep.
And now do we have to do the Adam Sandler Sloppy Joe song?
Maybe Amy can find a little clip and end the episode.
You don't want to sing it with me?
Sloppy Joe, Sloppy Joe.
There you go. That's enough.
Yeah, copyright.
And yes, that's enough. Thank you for listening, folks. Bye-bye.
Have a great week.